Hello everyone, my name is AP the Weird One, and today I want to discuss a little bit about Digimon Story Time Stranger, and specifically the rookies. I'm going to be more mentioning Demidevimon, but I do kind of want to discuss the evolutionary route that would be considered the anime route, so to speak, for these characters. Now, Patamon, Gomon are all pretty easy to figure out. Gomon being, of course, the Kakumon, which we did see in the trailers, and then, of course, Zudomon. If we're going by ABI, or kind of lowest resistance, it most likely be Plesiomon, his original Mega, and potentially then become Vikemon, although in Digimon Story Time Stranger, Digimon Story Cyber Sleuth, those were easy. They were both ABI 20, so it was pretty easy to pick up. Although I believe in the original Digimon Story Cyber Sleuth, you couldn't get Plesiomon through Zudomon, but you could only do Vikemon. So they changed that in the complete edition in Hacker's Memory, from what I remember. I just played the original Cyber Sleuth. But anyway, more to the point, those are like 2D de facto megas. And then Patamon would, of course, be Angemon, Magna Angemon. And then Hara mentioned Goldramon, and of course Seraphimon. Seraphimon being his mega. Even though Goldramon was invented in 1999, he didn't become associated with Magna Angemon until 2000, which by that point Seraphimon had also taken the place. We're gonna discuss. I'll show you a little bit of something in the card game, which leads me to believe that. Now, Demidevimon is a bit of an interesting scenario, and this is some screenshots they showed from the demo that would happen over at Anime Expo. Now, people got the Demidevimon, and we can see that they have Bakimon, Ice Devimon, and then Devimon and Ogremon, which is a little bit different from the original Cyber Sleuth. That was Bakimon, I think also Cubimon and Cursalimon, along with Ice Devimon and Demidevimon. Not a big deal in discussion, but this is their evolutionary route. Now, of course, nobody decided to show off what Devimon's route is. And for the viewers, you would think the most obvious route would be to do Myotismon and then Piedmon. I have a little bit of an issue with that. Myotismon in the anime is his own entity, and the same with Piedmon. Now, Piedmon and Myotismon would fuse together to become Volt and Baltimon, which I do think is a possibility in this video game, though I think maybe it would be through Venom Myotismon would fuse with Piedmon, and that's how you would get Volt and Baltimon. But what about Devimon? Well, I don't know. I've been racking my brain about this. I've been thinking, and what would be the kind of the more logical conclusion? What would they would do? Now, I came up with 3 ultimates that I think would perfectly work fine. That Devimon has digivolved over the century, Myotismon being the most prominent, Skull Satamon being the second most prominent, and then if we did Neo Devimon, all these are in line like they're way before modern day, even before 2020, so it would make sense for them to be in there. Skull Satamon is actually in 1999, and if you go through Digimon Story through Grindosaurus, Devimon, you're not going to be able to make Devimon digivolve into it super easily. But say that he didn't have the ABI requirement of 5, he was like right from the get go. Skull Satamon doesn't require high ABI. It could be frankly 0 or a very low number. Myotismon is ABI 10, and then of course Neo Devimon isn't in there. So that's an interesting question. So the logical conclusion would be Devimon becomes Skull Satamon. Now in terms of megas, yes, we could go with the obvious Piedmon, of course. If we do Myotismon, it would probably end. We would see Venom Myotismon and then potentially Malomyotismon. We could also see Neo Myotismon as well, but maybe there might be a little too many Myotismons. We'll see. But another Digimon that appeared at the time of a lot of the extra megas, like with Seraphimon, Vikemon, all came about was Deathmon, or Ghoulmon as in English. He was invented in 2020, both the gray version and the black version. Both at the time they were considered both virus and data. I remember the white one being data and then the black one being virus. That's how I remember it. But then in the reference book, they're both data, so not a big issue. But I would maybe for this game, maybe they would have you would digivolve into the black version, then maybe slight evolve into the you could digivolve in the gray version, then slight evolve into the black version, and have like the virus attribute. And if you kind of had with Plesiomon being data, you could have each of one of the different elements. So that's what I was thinking. And if they do now, Demidevimon was invented in 2020, and the latest Digimon, from what I saw and some interviews I picked up on, is that the Agumon Bond of Courage, Bond of Bravery, and then Godmoon Bond of Friendship. So, I mean, this was invented in 2020. It was very late 2020, but it could still technically work. It might be able to fit into it. It'd be a bit of a squeeze, but we could do that. I'm just thinking it might be more Death Ghoulmon, I think is another possibility. Another thing, if they do choose Neo Devimon, they could do Metamorphmon. He was actually invented in 2022, the same year as Neo Devimon, so that could also potentially work as well. I could see them doing that route. He's a Digimon we haven't seen in forever. It could work. But I think if we're going more of a bestial, well, I could see either one. I don't know. This had been weighing on my mind for quite a bit. I was thinking about this, just maybe possibly doing for a video. There is a little bit more evidence suggests that we could be seeing Deathmon and potentially Skull Satamon being for Devimon. And it goes back to BT14 in a card game. Now, on the both BT14 and BT15 separated the heroes' evolutionary lines, along with some of the villains. We see Agumon in this. We see Agumon, Goemon, Patamon, and Palmon in this sector, BT14. And then we also saw Leomon, which makes sense considering Leomon was friends with both Mimi and Joe. But we do see Serafimon in the set, and he's also the same artist, because artists usually give an indication of who the evolutionary line is. They're all done by Spare Ribs. Goldramon is in the set, but he's red, and he's done by a different artist. He's done by Tori Yufu. So that doesn't really match up, but I mean, it's cool that he's in there. But moving on, they have Devimon. Now, Devimon doesn't have any other associated artists. He is done by Hokyu. But we do see in the pack Skull Satamon, which is also done by Tori Yufu. And we see Ghoulmon as well. Kind of an interesting thing. He's also done by Tori Yufu. So he is considered Demon Lord. There is a future version. There's an Ace version that makes him Fallen Angel. So I think the possibility of Skull Satamon being the ultimate form for Devimon and then the Mega being Ghoulmon, I think it'd have a little bit of levity. I think there's a good possibility. I mean, as much as I would love to see done Devimon, I wouldn't be angry, but seeing Skull Satamon and Ghoulmon would be really cool. I would also love to see Metamorphmon. I mean, he's never got a reference book, and he kind of would fit the vibe. He could be an ABI 40, manner of speaking, or higher ranking. And so, like, maybe Vikemon, Serafimon, and that could also make him work. If they wanted to use Neo Devimon, he could still work with Ghoulmon because of the colors. Neo Devimon is, of course, it has the white and black, and that could work easily. So I think I would like Neo Devimon more. I think I could see Skull Satamon being there as well because he's in the original Cyber Sleuth. But I think I could also see Neo Devimon make an appearance and potentially Digivolving to Ghoulmon. I would love Don Devimon, but I don't think that's going to happen. And maybe there's an off chance it'd be Metamorphmon. I don't know. I was racking my brain about this, thinking about it, because I'm gonna choose Patamon. Goemon, I'm just way too familiar with water given the number of times I played Cyber Sleuth. And then Demidevimon, I'm like, I don't care about that evolutionary line. There's nothing to really entice me. I love Goldramon and also Serafimon as well. So I'm like, well, those Digimon entice me more. If and there's I think other virus level Digimon I'm more interested in playing in. So for me to just choose Devimon just seems a bit out of the question. But I don't know. I could talk myself into it. There are other Digimon that I'm more interested in both the vaccine and data lines. So I might end up choosing them, but I don't know. Like I said, I had this idea. I didn't know if I wanted to necessarily make it a video or not, but I just share my thoughts. Now, of course, I also included some other Digimon here as well, because it was mentioned that each of the rookies could potentially become one of the Olympus 12. So Neptunemon for Goemon, Jupitermon for Patamon, and then of course Plutomon for Demidevimon. Although they could also do Bacchusmon as well. But yeah, I just included that here. So yeah, I'm gonna end the video here. Hopefully, you have a wonderful day. Yeah, it's just racking my brain. Maybe see what your thoughts are on the matter. I don't know. I want to use Demidevimon, but I don't want to go fall into Myotismon because it's so boring. I'm like, ugh. I'd rather choose a Digimon I'm more likely. If you give me something a little bit more special to entice me, then maybe I will. Anyway, guys, hopefully you have a wonderful day. See you guys next time. I'll do this for like Tuesday, and then Wednesday we'll be doing some more Digimon Liberator. Anyway, I rambled long enough. Hopefully have a good rest of the day. See you guys next time.